So once again, here's your brand new 2009 22-inch Weber Smokey Mountain Cooker. Let's just recap these new features once again on this product. First and foremost, you've got a thermometer mounted in the lid. You have an additional handle mounted on the lid. It is quite a heavy lid, and so additional handle is helpful there. You still have the same number of vent dampers as before, but they're much larger, and they have 4 holes instead of 3. The access door has a different type of handle, which does indicate this in the lock position. This is kind of cool. I just noticed as I was playing with this, when you open the door, it stays out just like that. There's these little tabs on the end of the door, and they engage the body of the cooker and keep that door in place, so you don't have to put your door on the ground. There is this catcher on the bottom, a drip catcher, I think. As I mentioned before, I have some questions about the design of that, but that's an interesting new feature as well. On the inside, we have two 22-inch cooking grates. We have a much larger and more stable water pan, and on the charcoal grate at the very bottom, we've closed the gaps where briquettes tend to fall through, solving that little niggling problem. Here's a close-up of the thermometer. The increments are 5-degree increments, so each tick mark on that thermometer represents a 5-degree increase in temperature Fahrenheit. And as I mentioned before, there's an area here that's called smoke. It's in the range of 200 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. The thermometer ranges from 100 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So here's some shots that just give you the perspective of the difference in size between the old 18.5-inch Smokey Mountain Cooker and the new 22-inch Smokey Mountain Cooker. So that concludes my first look at the new 2009 22-inch Weber Smokey Mountain Cooker. Let's recap what we saw. On the positive side, we saw improvements to product packaging. We saw improvements to cooking capacity with two 22-inch cooking grates. We saw an improved water pan design, not only a larger capacity pan, but a pan that sits in a more secure way in the middle cooking section. We saw a change to the charcoal grate. They've closed those gaps on both sides to prevent charcoal from falling through. We see a redesign of the access door. It has a different type of handle that indicates the locked position when the handle is vertical. We also see there's some tabs on the bottom edge of the door that keep that door in place, engaged to the body of the cooker while it's open. We also see a big new feature, the installation of a thermometer in the lid, something people have asked for. It's been a glaring item that's been missing for a long time. It's not just a repurposed grilling thermometer, but it's a smoking thermometer with the range of temperature that we're interested in for barbecuing. And there's also the addition of a drip catcher at the bottom of the charcoal bowl. This is a feature I'm not quite sure about. It doesn't appear to be removable, so you can't really clean it. It does have a small hole in the bottom so that things can run out of that pan outside the cooker, but I guess perhaps instead of having to put a large undercar oil pan under your cooker, you could just put maybe a small tin can or something to catch the drips that might come out of that little pinhole. On the negative side, there's some features that are missing that people have long been asking for. There are no handles on the middle cooking section. There's no port through the side of the middle section so you can insert a probe thermometer. As I mentioned, some questions about that drip catcher. I had some concerns about how the charcoal grate engages in the bowl. It didn't seem to sit in a very stable way on top of those screws, and that's something I'll definitely be mentioning to Weber. And then we also saw a couple of out-of-the-box quality issues that are unfortunately not too uncommon today with the Smokey Mountain Cooker. One is that we did see a loose damper on the bowl, and we saw that we had out-of-round condition on the charcoal bowl as well. That concludes this preview of the cooker. I don't know when I'll be able to show this to you because Weber hasn't authorized me to release this information yet, but I'll get it online as soon as I can, as soon as they'll let me. But now I'm going to conclude. I'm going to wrap up this video, and I'm going to head off to the grocery store and get myself a whole bunch of meat and start cooking with this new 22-inch Weber Smokey Mountain Cooker.